Previously on PolyArmoury.
As you proceed further towards the base of the tower, you notice this structure, and it appears to be just chucking this smog out on one side and sucking air in on another side. It's like a probably about 8 foot tall, mostly rectangular. You just start smashing the side of it, and there is just this nasty squelch. And the bit you hit goes sort of limp and then starts to sort of swell a bit. And eventually there's like a click, and this whole side panel just raises up and slides back into the top like a garage door.
Brilmara,
Yeah?
your talky brain, does it talk? The fuck is that?
Hey, are you alive? Question mark? What are you?
Environmental converter.
Do you have like a registered user?
Administrator, log on.
And how's that spelled? At what point will you stop converting the environment?
When all environment is completely replaced with habitable living conditions.
Are we talking the whole planet or just like the town?
From context of your question, your entire world.
Can you tell us any more information about your primary user?
Primary user. Designation illithid.
Brilmara wants to take the risk, if not stopped, to just stab this thing and pour poison in the wound.
Dusty's not going to stop her.
Okay,
Yeah,
how
D
much
won't
poison
stop.
are you going to use?
Gonna start one bottle at a time and see how long it takes to have an effect.
Almost immediately you notice that the smog being pumped out stops, and the air being intaken stops. The bioluminescence of the, striggy bits in front of you underneath the hatch start to dull and fade. You notice that the hole that you're pouring it in through, the edges of it have started to go hard.
Oh, more team?
Different hole.
Make another hole and stab some more in.
You carve another orifice in this thing and pour some poison in. Over the next few minutes, the building, it's going sort of hard, and if you touch it, it starts to flake. And the slight breeze that is now starting to just blow through the area, it's starting to, flake off the top level of whatever this is. And behind you, the tower is starting to become more and more clear. And you can see these, jagged white fingers stretching up the tower. In the few minutes it takes you to head back to town, you're starting to hear very loud, groaning, cracking sounds coming from the tower itself, which is now almost entirely white.
Yeah.
And, literally as you're getting to the edge of town, you hear a sound like the world's largest leg breaking.
Ooh.
Oh, no, I hate it.
And the tower just comes down behind you, and cracks the ground beneath it, which is all this sort of weird, calcified something. Outside of all this chaos, everyone returned to shore. There is sort of a rumbling sound. There is a ball of glowing blue something, and inside it is a very tall creature wearing a robe that is very familiar. It has a large, lumpy head, and just a whole mess of tentacles where its mouth would be.
Oh no.
You destroyed my home.
Yay!
We did it.
Ah.
You did.
Dusty probably keeps punching for a minute.
It's squelchy.
Da-da-na-na-na-na-na-na.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to Stone Monkey Radio and Curiosity Epidemic's PolyArmoury. I got it right this time. Woo!
Woo, we're here, hooray!
I know what show I'm on.
Yeah. I mean, you would be far from the first presenter of a podcast to ever get which show they're on incorrect. I've done it many a time. It's great.
I've nearly introduced Queer and Pleasant Strangers as PolyArmoury several times, I'll be honest.
I do it wrong all the time. Then I don't
Yay.
get asked to host again.
Professionals. Well, you'd solved a big mystery. You'd splattered a illithid. That was it.
We defeated an illithid and got through the cat's adventure.
You did.
Hooray!
And without one person singing about how they were Rumpelteazer and Mungo Jerry.
I don't know what you mean.
Those are some characters from Cats.
I don't know what you mean.
I don't know
So-
what you mean, but for legitimate reasons.
So, as you were leaving town, heading back up north as you were on your journey, this little yellow sort of flap appeared in the air, not far from where you were.
A yellow flap in the
A little
air.
yellow flap appeared in the air, probably about a foot or so across.
Uh-huh.
And as you're watching, the flap flips up, and this sort of menacing grey head comes through, and it's got these two little black eyes on the side of it, and it's all white underneath, and it's coming further through, and you can see the gills on the side, and it comes further through, and there's a little pop, and a couple of fins come out on either side of it.
See, until you said fins and gills, I was imagining like a magical cat flap.
And then it comes even further, and the little tail just, and it seems to be a large fluffy shark.
Yeah, okay, yeah, so it may
Yeah.
have been a magical cat flap.
It stands up in front of you,
Yeah.
and gives a little, and then another Shork comes through. You realise that dressed in this Shork costume is basically a very, very small tabaxi.
Yeah?
Like, smaller than a child, but they're all dressed in these little fluffy Shork costumes.
Oh.
The last
I
one
like it.
comes through heaving something heavy, and they all sort of, once they've sort of managed to get it through the cat flap, they present it at your feet and ask you to give a paw print on a bit of parchment they're holding out for you.
You need to sign for this.
Are you still D in tabaxi form? Can you do a paw print signature?
Yeah, D didn't shift away from the tabaxi,
Yeah.
so paw.
So yeah, you pour the thing. There's a little like sparkle of like just glitter just seems to just come out off of your paw as you touch the parchment.
I'm realising we probably should have read this before telling D to sign it.
It's just a receipt for what you have received.
Hooray!
And with that, the tabaxi dressed as Shorks, truly the most dedicated of Mitten's disciples, depart through the sacred cat flap.
Oh.
And we're
Aw.
left alone with this thing that you have been given.
What have we been given?
Yeah.
What is it?
What is it?
It takes a little while to work it out. It's large and hairy. It's about sort of 3 foot long.
I knew we should have read the receipt. This would have probably told us what it was.
On further investigation, you realise that you have been given a mostly dead giant rat.
Oh,
Ah.
This is clearly thanks from Mittens for
Oh.
the work you did.
Oh,
I thought I was being
Get it?
attacked.
It's that wonderful moment where your cat brings you something dead and you have to go, oh, okay, thanks. You're right there, Becky.
I completely missed what Nick said, sorry.
I said
Nick said, oh, sorry, yeah?
I said I thought I personally was being attacked.
No. This was a gift to the party for all your good work.
Can we trade it in for an equivalent cash prize?
You can try. You're still in Felixstow, so
I want it noted, Dusty will have done his best to convince Trixie to come along with us for the adventure.
I couldn't possibly leave town, and besides, things are looking up around here now.
Do you know anywhere we could sell a giant rat in town?
I think just about anyone would take a giant rat off. They are delicious.
Does anyone have, is it just thaumaturgy? Let me make my voice much louder.
Yes.
Hang on. How
Brilmara.
delicious we talking here.
Well, I mean, they're kind of a delicacy, especially you don't usually get them this colour.
What
Or
color
this
is
fresh. It's sort of a black-brown sheen. To you, it looks like any other giant rat.
Yeah. Brilmara suspects that no one in the party is going to quite appreciate it as much as the tabaxi in this town.
Yeah.
And is gearing up to thaumaturgy up and start a bidding war for the giant rat. Let's be like, who's got the best offer? Doesn't have to be a cash amount. What you going to offer us for the giant rat? Come one, come all. If no one objects, this is going to start.
Dusty, rather? You were hanging on. Was that just to tell how delicious it was, or?
If Brilmara wants to sell it, then
Oh,
Dusty
if-
will
if
find
Dust-
something else to snack on.
If Dusty wants to snack on it, that's okay. This was purely
It's a gift for the party.
Yeah, as a party, we decide what to do with it. Do you want to eat the big rat?
Do you want to eat a big rat?
I mean, how tasty does it look?
It looks like a tasty rat. TM.
It looks like a tasty rat.
Giant.
Get eating that big rat. But you're going to have to eat it all in one go, I suspect, because I don't think we've got room in the cart for it.
Could we carve off a sizable piece for Dusty?
I mean, if it's a giant rat, there's more than enough to go around.
Dusty maybe have a leg and then we sell the rest of
Leg
it.
of rat.
Yeah.
Are you going to start your own rat
Like
burger
those
van or something?
ridiculously big turkey drumsticks you see people
Okay.
walking around Disney
Ye-
with.
But even bigger. This is like the size of your arm.
Yeah.
Just
Mhm.
a real big leg of rat.
This is cartoon medieval British king.
Alright. Well, with that done, Brilmara will thaumaturgy up and go, brilliantly fresh, unique coloration, giant rat for sale. Got most of its legs still. Let's get some starting bids.
The cats are the tabaxi rather, are starting to sort of mill around you, and they are showing some interest. Someone pops up and offers you like a very nice shiny bell on a little bit of red ribbon.
Oh, that's very tempting.
Aw.
Any better offers? What we got?
Someone's got a hairball for you if you take
Oh.
that. A few are offering sort of mostly dead bugs.
I mean, I'm real tempted by that bell. Jingle, jingle,
How big is
jingle.
this bell? This is proper
It's about the
tabaxi
size
size.
of Dusty's fist.
Ah.
Just a jingle, jingle, jingle. It's very tempting. Jingle,
I'm
jingle.
quite tempted by the bell.
Is it every time the bell jingles that Dusty's eyes is just like following it?
Mhm.
Dusty's just a big cat.
Brilmara's gonna start sliding the very big rat in the direction of the giant bell. Big bell.
The tabaxi with the giant bell hands it over to you and immediately just pounces on the giant rat and starts digging in. And then like four other the tabaxi are just diving on as well. And although there's sort of some infighting, like it basically seems like this rat is being shared by at least four of the tabaxi at this point.
Aw.
Oh.
Brilmara's now got a big bell.
You've got a big
Jingle,
bell.
jingle,
Someone put that
jingle.
on your inventory.
Jingle,
Or,
jingle.
tie it to Dusty. Who knows?
Oh, I'm going to try and tie it to Brilmara.
Do it. That way I cannot be kidnapped at any point.
Make her
You will
some
hear
kind
if
of
anyone
cat
attempts to kidnap me.
See, what I'm thinking is if you've still got your really cool hat on,
I do
a
still
little
have that.
ponytail coming out the back of the really cool hat, and just tie the ribbon like a big bow.
That
So
just
there's a
happens-
cool hat and a giant big bow with a bell on it around the ponytail at the back.
I mean, it's gonna impact my ability to do stealth, but like, I'm never gonna get lost from the party, so.
Yeah, you're getting a -2 to stealth now.
Oh.
Oh.
Do I get a +2 to
You can
adorable?
stick it in the bag of holding if you ever need to do any
Do I
sneaks.
get a +2 to adorable?
Okay, you can have a +1 to charisma while you're wearing it.
Okay, nice.
Negotiating with the DM.
I'll allow it. If it seems like a reasonable request, I'll allow it. Right. So, bidding farewell to the tabaxi who've already forgotten who you are.
I see what you did there.
So you bid farewell to the tabaxi, and off on your cart with everybody in tow, jingling slightly as you go over bumps in the road.
Oh.
Aw.
And you head further and further north. And it's getting quite hilly. It's very green. It's very, very green. Lots of big rolling hills, lots of up and down. The piggies are fucking exhausted. But they are enjoying the, down way. Because
Yeah.
they just lift all their trotters off and just go scudding down. They love the downhill, not so much the up. Because it's a heavy cart with you all on it.
Yeah, not as heavy as it would have been with a giant rat on it.
Indeed. Although, maybe they'd have taken the giant rat off you as well. Who knows? They are piggies. Eventually, you come to what looks like a small town. Now, on the way in, you have noticed a few weary-looking travellers on the road. People with seemingly carrying everything they own with them. A couple of little families, a couple of individuals, just sort of drifting away out of town. The town itself appears to be built right by a coal mine. But there's a lot of very clean-looking folk who don't look like they've been down a coal mine recently.
But they've got showers. You can shower at the end of your shift. That's it, I bet.
Yeah, that sounds like it.
Yeah, so the town, you notice, is mostly sort of folk in like, clean shirts, maybe a waistcoat, some very heavy brown trousers, some heavy boots, lots of flat caps.
Oh.
Oh.
A few sort of mostly single-story buildings.
I'm starting to feel attacked.
It's going to get worse when I get to the accent. You notice as you are sort of disembarking from the cart that there is one person who's sort of wandering up out of the mine with a big bag of coal, and they throw it on the back of a cart, gesture to the driver, and the driver heads off sort of north of the town, and there's a few people standing around sort of jeering this single miner.
Aw.
Oh my god. Are we
What?
really doing this?
Yes.
Something's lost on me, clearly.
Okay, we're visiting the fantasy north of England.
Look,
Right.
I wanted...
Becky is bracing for comments about the north.
It's not so much comments about the north, it's you are heading north. You've been heading north for weeks.
Yeah. We have been
And-
going weeks north.
And I need an excuse to get a coal mine in.
Yeah. Also, I imagine voices are going to be a thing.
Where's Fantasy Margaret Thatcher? Can we just go and deal with the problem now?
Well, you'll have to get to that part of the story.
It's expensive to get there.
So, what do you want to do?
Well, I mean, the first suggestion on the table was apparently go kill Fantasy Margaret Thatcher.
Do you want to have a look around town? Do you want to talk to anyone?
Let's have a look around. Let's have a look around and see if there's any signs for aha. Here is the Iron Lady in charge.
What are the folks around here? Are they mostly human?
Oh, yeah.
Dusty's going to dust himself off to try and look as unlike he's just been down a mine as possible. Probably a tall order for someone made out of dirt, but...
Yeah, not really his strong suit, I'd imagine. Is D still a tabaxi at this point?
How many weird looks was Tabaxi getting?
None yet. You've not been considered... You've not really been the focus of attention yet.
Ooh.
Okay.
I'm gonna use Mask of Many Faces to disguise myself as close to a very short human as possible.
Okay.
Just try and human myself up a bit, like, oh yes, hello.
Well, if that's what Brilmara is doing, D will follow suit and be a human male.
Human male.
Okay. Dusty is going to wander his way over to the jeering crowd.
Will you be joining in the jeering?
I'm looking for Union Bloke up front. Who looks like the person in charge?
The person who's jeering.
Is there only one jeerer?
There's many people sort of berating this person who got the coal. No one you could specify seems to be in charge. There is one that is basically the biggest of the lot. He's got his sleeves rolled up.
Oh,
He's taking this serious.
Mm.
Is that what's rolled up sleeves are?
Dusty's gonna walk up to that one.
What's that one?
New in town. You don't seem to like coal round here.
There's no point in coal. No one's buying it no more.
Alright, why are you shouting at it?
He's the only one who's still got a job left. Okay, I said no one. There is one mill in all that bloody city, and he points off towards what looks like a weird, dirty cloud on the horizon. Only one mill left in that city that still buys real coal. I don't know what happened to it, but no one's buying coal up there no more. Not from us, at least. This mine used to be even. We used to be a busy town. Now, we got nothing. People leaving. There's no reason to stay here.
So
That lad's wasting his time.
So you're not angry about the coal, you're angry that there's not an excuse for you to also be down there getting coal.
I worked in coal mines all my life. It was a thing of beauty to work down there. But no more. Something up in the city has upended everything.
Have you considered learning how to code? Sorry, I couldn't fucking help it.
Always in demand.
I feel like you could have helped yourself, though.
I don't think I could, but it's nice you think so well of me.
Not many motor on round here, love. Nah, things aren't even going so well for the fancy folk either. I mean, look at the state of this place. And he points around. And you notice in his sweeping gesture, looking sort of a bit further into the town, there are a lot of well-dressed people that seem to be sitting on the pavements begging for money.
What were they doing in town previously?
Them city folk
Oh?
came down from city. Something's happened to economy up there.
So they came here to beg?
Some of them probably born here, though, not that we'd recognise them now, fancy folk.
Dee will spit when he says fancy folk at the ground.
He nods to you and also spits.
Brilmara tries to spit to, fit in. Doesn't
Brilmara do the
good
thing where
job.
she tries to spit and it just dribbles down her chin and then she
Little
has to
bit.
lean forward.
Yeah, it was an attempt at fitting in. It did not go well.
It's beautifully undignified, though. Gotcha.
I mean, I feel like we should go find out what's happening in the town. It seems like whatever problem has occurred there has trickled down to here. Economics don't trickle down, money doesn't trickle down, but this problem...
Poverty apparently trickles down out of the
Yeah,
city.
trickle-down poverty is the thing. You
I
should
can
go
believe that.
upstream.
Okay, let's go poverty hunting.
Okay, so you're just going to go for a walk around the town, or are you heading into the city? What's your next?
I think go ahead into the city, see what's going on there that's caused the problem, because they're not buying the coal, and people there are having economic problems. It feels like that's where the answer is.
Mm-hmm.
As you start to head out of the town on the other side, you are accosted by a few very well dressed folk, like top hats, suit jackets. Some of them still with walking canes and so forth, but holding out their palms begging for coin.
But they still have their very fancy clothes that they probably could have got some money for, one would imagine.
Who can say?
More important question.
Mm-hmm.
If I look at their feet, do they still have their bootstraps?
They have fine leather shoes,
Oh.
laced no less.
See, I want to do an insight roll, because I'm wondering something. I'm trying to get a feel for something very specific.
Mhm.
Are these the kind of people who will be begging on the street for money, but if I give them too little, they're going to really complain and be like, what, I can't buy caviar with this?
Could try and roll insight on that.
I want to get a feel for how pretentious are these fuckers. 8 on insight. That's not great.
You can't tell a lot about them, but they are very fancy-looking people, only slightly dirtied by their surroundings.
I'm just curious why they haven't sold the fancy things.
Well, I mean, if the economy's bad, maybe no one's buying the fancy things from them. Brilmara is going to give them 5 gold.
Any a selection, 5 gold, a gold each to a group of people, or just find one person, you get 5 gold.
Maybe if there's a group of them together, give the group 5 gold, and hey, sorry to see that you seem to be having a rough time.
Oh, that's jolly kind of you. Thank you so much. I must say, we've fallen on terribly hard times here. We've had to come and live down here with common folk.
The common folk.
Indeed, yes.
You've had to live with common people.
It's ghastly, I assure you.
No. I'm sure. What happened that brought you here?
Well, there's just no work for us anymore, I'm afraid.
What was the work before?
Well,
If you don't mind me asking.
we were businessmen and women and all sorts, as you know, but there's been a new type of businessman arriving in the city, and they've rather taken over all our positions, so I suppose there's less need for us. It's the age of steam, you know.
Oh, tell me more. What about these new business people?
Well, they're a strange lot, they're all dressed the same, always always with their umbrellas, marching around their top hats, and they're just a strange bunch, and they all mostly seem to be just working for one larger company, but I've never quite identified it. Quite put us out of business, you know.
Anything you could tell us that would help us track them down?
Oh, we'll just have to head into the city. You'll spot them. They're everywhere, literally lining the streets, working in every industry. Well, probably almost every industry.
See, now that because you mentioned Modron a minute ago, offhandedly, I'm now people all working in unison. Probably not Modron, but that image is in my head now. Mechanical people.
Mechanical people.
I'm imagining they're all steam powered, and that's what all the coal's for. Probably not, but that's my early guess. I'm getting it in now.
Do you have anything else you want to say to these upper class twits?
I mean, as we actually leave, when we're like driving off and on the car, I want to call them like a bunch of. I want to say some very rude things as we, drive off, but not until we're at a safe distance.
I say, that's most uncalled
Posh
for.
twats.
Really? Didn't used to be disrespected like this when I had servants, Anyway, who are we going to have for dinner? As you roll off towards the big city.
Who are we gonna have for dinner?
Good question. It is a big, old, smoky pile that you are heading towards. Just the whole city is just wreathed in steam. There are, as you get closer, you see all these old, very old buildings, some of them, belching smoke out of their chimneys. There's, just some unpleasant metallic and chemical smells just coming from these buildings. Lots of very tall chimneys. There's, a river that seems to be just sort of running down, and it runs sort of quite close to the road as you're getting into town, and then sort of seems to pull away a bit. It's, a big, sooty, stinking city, just wreathed in fog and steam. Imagine Little Inferno.
Oh,
just
yes.
like those silhouette images with all the grey smoke behind you.
Yeah.
It's quite difficult to make things out. You start to clatter over the cobbles of the city. And as you are driving along, you do notice that there are a lot of people with these sort of umbrellas just tapping, walking in lockstep.
Can we get a good look at them?
They appear to be sort of very well-dressed gentlemen in their pinstripe trousers, their waistcoats, their jackets, their fine top hats.
How identical are they? Are they actual different people, or is this lots and lots of literally the same person?
Oh no.
Can I get advantage on that perception if I cast Gust to blow away some of the smoke to get a better
Sure.
look? Thank you. Okay, I had an idea.
Yeah, you did.
Perception. 11.
They seem very similar.
I think they're all the same person.
I say.
Do I see any better with a 13?
They seem very, very similar.
That's an additional very. Whoa.
Let me see if I can see anything.
If you're doing group rolls, you're supposed to declare it together.
Whoops.
That's fine. You'll let us know
Eight.
though, because you love us.
Yeah, they're sort of similar, I guess.
So we have sort of similar, and very similar, and very, very similar. I think they might look quite similar. Can we try and stop and talk to one of them?
Sure. So you pull the cart up, and how are you going about this? Sort of chasing after some ahead of you, or stopping dead in front of some?
I don't know. Does anyone in the group have a suggestion?
First of all, we lock the car.
We lock the car.
Lock the car. And then we just stand in the path and wait for some to lockstep their asses on over, I guess.
Okay, so that you're waiting for some to approach you rather than chasing some down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're approached by this group of 4 who appear to be sort of muttering between themselves. And yeah, they all seem sort of very quietly engaged in some kind of conversation. And they almost bump into you. And one of them sort of tips their hat, and there's something a bit strange about that. But then they open their mouth, and they're just like, business, 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 business.
Business, business.
Business, business, business.
Business, business.
Business, business, business.
Business.
Business. And then they just walk out into the road around you to get past.
Hang on. Roll it back.
They are not paying any attention to you.
Dusty throws a rock at the back of one of their hats.
Oh no.
Okay, let's have a dexterity for a projectile.
21!
Okay, you wind up and you throw your rock at the back of this thing's head, and there is a very loud clang, and the hat is dented, but it does not fall off.
A metallic clang, perhaps.
A big metallic clang.
Are they
Interesting.
Modron?
Oh,
Oh, heck.
knew that guy should have learned to code.
That guy should have learnt to code. Oh.
Portentous.
Oh.
Does it react in any way to have just been assaulted?
Nope.
Brilmara,
Yeah.
can you do your brain talking?
I can try. Okay. Awakened mind. I can communicate telepathically with any creature I can see within 30 feet. I don't need to share a language with it, but the creature must be able to understand at least one language. I attempt to telepathically communicate with one of these people, Modron, these business people as they walk past.
Okay. I want you to imagine that you've taken a Spectrum cassette
Oh, God.
and just turned the hi-fi up to 11
Yeah.
and hit play, and it's just like...
I have no idea what
I-
you're saying.
Imagine like the old 90s dial-up tone for
Got it.
internet.
Yeah. I've plugged myself into a couple of very loud, very screechy dial-up modems.
Yeah, you're basically doing the handshake procedure at the moment.
Okay, they're Modron.
Does
I
Dean know what
I hacked into the Matrix and I don't like it.
Oh.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing. Do we know what Modron are? Are we likely to?
I
have
mean,
come
you're all
across them in
saying
the past?
Modron. I haven't said a damn word.
Yeah, I don't
Lizzie!
think they're actually Modron.
Probably not Modron. Can we try and do some kind of roll to find out what these are?
Sure.
We latched onto it because they're metal people, and you said Modron at one
I
point.
had said Modron, yes. Well, that's what I thought of when we said coding.
Oh, you make a good point, but now it's like, oh yeah, Modron! They're in our head.
No, Modron are in your head.
What would we roll?
Oh no.
What?
Now I'm worried it's Cybermen.
Oh no.
What if they're Dalek? No. Yes. No?
No, Daleks don't assimilate.
Gotcha.
Jane is looking something
Assimilate.
up.
Oh, I was just thinking that I've got a ring modulator plug-in for Audacity.
So I could do a classic Cyberman voice.
What do we need to roll to try and be like, what the fuck are these things?
I guess that would be,
I'm going to say nature,
Nature?
because you are trying to work out the nature of the thing, even if it's not natural.
12.
6.
Oh.
Save us, D.
17.
Hooray!
You get the impression this is some kind of mechanical life form.
Well, do
That
we
doesn't
know?
react to being attacked.
Yeah.
Mm.
Perhaps it didn't see it as much of an attack.
Oh no.
Hmm.
Can we... Do you wants to try and talk to another one?
Well, some more will come up behind you.
Okay.
Business.
No business.
There's like a moment where the head just sort of twitches to one side,
Uh-huh.
and their eyes seem to darken, and they look at the other one next to them, and they chatter like really, really quickly in language you can't make out at all, and then they look up at you and go, business, and they just shoulder barge you out the way and keep going.
Oh.
All right.
Duster is going to use Mould Earth to try and get all up in their shit. Nothing mechanical ever enjoyed having grit and dirt in it.
Probably not.
Whichever one laid hands on D is about to find itself in desperate need of an oiling.
Ooh, kinky.
Mhm.
You dirty, dirty businessman.
I mean, that's what I hear about businessmen, yeah.
What do I roll to ruin something mechanical?
You're using what? Your dirt?
I'm using my dirt.
Do you not have some kind of special dirt attack roll thingy?
It's
I feel
it's
like we
just
should
a
work.
cantrip. I mean, this feels like a strength thing because I'm just trying to crunch something all up and make its day bad.
Or is it
Yeah,
Dex?
I feel like that because you did the same thing with the animated armor. So yeah, I think that would probably do. 22.
Nice.
Okay, so you've like force yourself all up inside this thing and just like use your strength to just hold yourself in a solid position, and you can feel like gears trying to move, wheels trying to turn, and it just isn't happening. And after a few moments it just seizes and stops moving, and the light seems to drain from this thing's eyes. But the one next to it is looking at you, and you can hear a sort of, not hear exactly, but something is making your skin tingle, and you get the impression it's sound based but beyond your hearing.
Oh, that's unpleasant.
Yes, it's disquieting, but it doesn't hurt.
Can I stop this thing being mad by making myself look like one of the marching people and just stand in the destroyed one's place? Be like, yeah, everything's fine. Off we go to march. Yes.
Did you say that?
I will transform and then go, yes, everything is fine. Time to business.
It turns to you and looks at you like, business.
Business.
It looks at you like a cat that you've just meowed at. Like, you've said our word, but you do not clearly understand our language.
Business.
It raises its umbrella at you like it's like a sword,
Oh no, I have angered it.
and you notice that there's a few others approaching.
Okay.
They
this
all
is
seem to
creepy.
have bright red eyes now.
Uh-oh.
I turn my eyes red. Business.
Business. Roll initiative.
Yeah, never try and speak a language by guessing at the sound patterns.
11.
22.
11.
So the line is Dusty, all of the business people, then Brilmara, then D. This will be fun.
Hooray.
Probably, if you don't all die.
Hey, I love not dying.
So right now, there are 4 of these things, which is cool, because the encounter calculator said you could manage 2. Right, Dusty,
Me?
what are you doing? There is an angry, metallic person with bright red eyes pointing a very pointy-looking umbrella at you, or your girlfriend.
Dusty is immediately going to flip into a rage. They've already disrespected D. They are not about to start pointing things at Brilmara as well.
Oh.
And he is going to go straight for a two-handed swing with his warhammer. Does a 23 hit?
Funnily enough, it does.
Who would have thunk?
Dusty will thunk. Nailed it.
12.
Right, then we have the Businessman. That's an 18 for Dusty.
That matches.
That's a hit. And a 19.
Well, that's definitely a hit.
So that's 6 and 4, 10 total. Right, next one is going to take a swing at Brilmara.
Me?
Oh no.
That's
And a
not...
23,
the 23 will hit.
5 damage.
Oh no.
Next one is going to take a swing at Dusty as well. 20, 11,
20 hits.
9 damage.
No. Okay.
You sound so sad.
Is that 2 or 3? Well, yeah, that was 3, wasn't it? Okay, so last one. Also on Dusty, 13 out of 21.
21 hits.
That's 9 damage. Okay, Brilmara.
I'm gonna pick one of these and start casting Witch Bolt.
Tell me about Witch Bolt.
Big electric zappy fingers.
It's electric.
Yeah, a beam
Actually
of
electric.
a beam of crackling blue energy lances out towards the creature, forming a sustained arc of lightning. So it is electric.
Okay.
It is actual lightning. Oh, 9. Doubt that's gonna hit.
That is not going to hit.
I didn't think so. I'll try next. Try next turn.
D.
D is going to back up the Dusty Boy.
Yeah.
All right. Time for the whipping to occur. 17.
Ooh, lush. That hits.
Huzzah. 5.
Which one are you attacking? The one that Dusty's already damaged, or?
Yeah.
So that one is not looking super healthy. Like, half its face has come off, and you can see just all these gears and sort of turning cogs and things just inside. It is a strange clockwork creation.
Like the Terminator.
Yeah, but more like that episode of Doctor Who with the Renaissance clockwork robots.
Gotcha.
The girl in the fireplace?
That's the one. She says she's no good at media.
I'm normally not. That one's just in there.
Dusty, we're back to you.
Back to me.
Back to you, lad.
Dusty is still in a freaking mood. Instead of the one that looks like it's about to fall in bits anywhere, he is going to use his attack and his extra attack to warhammer it all up in this bitch. 15 and crit.
Damn. The crit hits.
Crit hit.
Funny, though.
The crit.
It's critical.
Crit hits!
Wow, McJinkies.
30 damage.
Wowza, McJinkies. So you basically just, like, golf swing up into this thing's chest, and its torso goes flying down the street and just skids across the cobbles, leaving little sparks. And its legs just sort of, like, do that little, that sort of confused drunk walk for a couple of seconds and then just fall over.
That's a Dusty Boy.
That's a dusty, dusty boy. Okay, so the damaged one is going to take a swing at Dusty. 13 and 7.
Does not hit.
The next one is in pieces. The one after that is also going to swing at Dusty. 14, 11.
Nope.
And the last one will swing at Dangerous Dusty. That's a 22.
That hits.
4 damage.
Okay. As a reaction, Dusty's going to use Bite and Rebuke. 1d4 plus strength. So 5, and give me a wisdom save.
Crit.
You are not frightened.
Robot
Just
not fighting.
down a few more gears than
And
previously.
did you say you bit this thing?
Yeah, just
Just as well you're you, because, like, you feel like something is now a bit loose in your face, but you're made of dirt, so it sorts itself out.
yeah, it's just gonna try and tear a few of the gears out of the open face meats.
Okay, Brilmara.
Let's try that lightning again. Go, lightning fingers.
Go.
10.
Finger, it doesn't do a damn thing.
What am I getting?
Do.
I'm getting so... For weeks now, every combat I've just had like 3, 4, 5. Even a +6 modifier ain't enough to fix it.
What is going on?
I have a +6 modifier. I should be hitting 50% of the time.
Shit.
Yeah. I don't remember the last time my lightning fingers connected with anything.
Aw.
Oh.
I'm trying my sparks. Brilmara's just lost that
She's
confidence.
lost her spark, oh no.
Oh no. Okay, next person's turn.
D.
Yes.
What do? So you got one that's looking very badly damaged,
Yeah.
one that's looking just fine, and one that's just a little bit damaged.
D's gonna go for the most badly damaged one.
Okay,
How do I lose it every time? 14.
that's a miss.
Oh,
Back
whoopah.
to Dusty.
Duster is going to continue thrashing around with angry abandon, while I'd like to imagine that he kind of looks like he's got a grill now, because he remembered to bite down, but he didn't remember to unclench afterwards.
So you look like you're going to blow up and act like you don't know nobody.
10 and a 19.
The 19 hits.
13.
Okay, and that's the one that you were biting, yeah?
Yeah, this is on the slightly knackered looking one.
Yeah, you've basically ripped its arm off now. You pulled away with your teeth and you've ripped its arm off. And you've taken like a good amount of shoulder and chest with it. Yeah, this one's not looking healthy. It's got sparky bits. When it speaks, it's like...
That only pisses him off more.
I can imagine. So the first one you started attacking is going to go for Brilmara again.
Oh, me.
That's 22.
That's gonna hit.
5 damage.
Yeah.
And a 16.
That'll hit.
6 damage. How's your health?
Oh, still pretty good.
Okay, cool.
I've only been hit like 3 times and they weren't particularly bad hits.
Lordy fucking daddy. I see how it is now.
Okay, I'm very squishy, but thankfully I've not been the result of too many of the hits yet. I'm okay.
The undamaged one will take a swing at Dusty. 18.
That matches.
14 is not gonna, so 1 hit. That's an 11.
Okie dokie.
Is it starting to tickle yet?
It is just about tickling, yeah. Not quite blooded, but getting there. And Duster is going to bite that bitch right back. No, not a d20. Stop it. 5 chewing damage.
5 munching damage.
And give me wisdom against 16.
3.
That's a fail. Frightened condition.
Unfortunately, it is immune to being frightened. Unusual for a constructed creature. I'm sure you'll agree.
I am shooketh. Although that could just be the tingling from the mouthful of wires.
Yeah. You haven't got any fillings, have you, Dusty? They're not, like, biting down on all that metal.
He doesn't seem like the fillingsy kind of boy. He's mostly made out of dirt. He'll just,
I imagine you just push some of the dirt around.
just wedge a rock up in there if it gets a bit thin.
Okay, so the last one is going to take a swing at Dusty as well. This is the one that's missing chunks. 10
Nope.
and an 8.
Nope.
Back to Brilmara.
Oh, one more attempt at Zappy Fingers. I'm gonna
I
try
believe in
it.
you!
I'm gonna go for it.
Go for the healthy looking one.
I'm gonna go for it. 15. Does 15 hit?
No.
Oh.
Oh, baby.
I finally got a roll that was okay-ish.
Well, okay-ish.
Okay, my turn's done.
Oh. D. Lasker, what have you got for us?
Guidance does not count for accuracy or attack rolls, does it?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay.
But it is an action.
Yes.
Yeah, it is an action, so.
Well, D's not super accurate either, and will decide to impart guidance onto Brilmara.
Oh, what I do? Add a d4 to the thing. Are you gonna let me hit with a spell?
Please.
Thank you.
Sparky fingers seem like they're maybe helpful here, although Dusty has it well in hand so far.
Seems like.
I
Dusty,
feel like
back
it
to
helps.
you.
Right, so Dusty is probably gotten over the flare of temper now.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to cool down out of his rage, and I'm going to let you paint this one, Laura, because he's going to use the help action. Instead of having an actual turn, he's going to try and make it so that the business stands still and lets you zap them.
Business.
Oh.
So is that you, like, just ending your turn there, or?
Yep, the help action imparts advantage, mechanically.
Okay.
Oh, I
shit.
get advantage and a plus a d4.
Oh, shit. Damn.
Oh, everyone's helping.
Everything.
Oh, you
Yay.
just watch me fuck this up and not hit it somehow still.
Now, this
I
is
hope
what
you're ready.
PolyArmoury is all about.
Oh, you've put all your faith in me and it's going to go so
This
wrong.
is what PolyArmoury is all about. A queer throuple just pulling all together behind the one who's been having a bit of a bad time.
I just wanted lightning fingers them.
I love it.
It's the strength
Zap,
of a
zap.
polyarmory.
Yay! Okay, so we're back to the business persons. First one is going to take a swing at Brilmara, 10,
That misses.
and an 11.
That misses.
Next one's swinging at Dusty, 24,
Hits.
and a 13.
Don't hit.
5 damage.
Oh, okay.
Oh, bless them. Third one, on Dusty again. That's 12 and a 4. Crit fail. Boo. Brilmara,
Is it time?
the team are behind you. It's the Yu-Gi-Oh! Champions.
Okay, so let's do the regular roll without the plus I get on it first, and we get
So you got advantage on this roll,
advantage.
yeah?
So advantage on this roll.
Mhm.
16 on the first roll and 22 on the second.
22 hits.
Yeah, I'm gonna add on that d4 of being.
You have to do that before you roll.
What?
Oh.
Oh,
Fair.
I just mechanically didn't know how to make it do both that plus d4 at the same time.
Do you want to do that then? I'll let you do it.
If that's okay, I had intended to do both just because I want to do the thing.
Okay.
Plus the d4 adds another 4, so that's 26. Does 26 hit? Do I get to start doing damage to them?
Yes, you get to start doing damage to them.
Yay! So I shoot my lightning at them, and
Full
that
damage.
does 4 damage. Is that in any way increased by the fact that they're robots?
Funnily enough, it is. And funnily enough, it starts arcing between them.
I knew that lightning was the right move. I just had to hit once.
So it bounces between the three of them back and forth as you're just unlimited powering at them. And, like, the top blows off of one of their top hats, just like a little chimney of its own. Just poof, and then it just on the floor. Another one, its eyes just, like, pop out on springs and just fall down. And that one's just fizzing, and the last one's like, business, and walking into a wall, just repeatedly, just ka-ching, ka-ching, business.
Brilmara's gonna look to Dee and Dusty and just go, thank you. It's really cool to do lightning. Thank you.
And it's at this point you notice that sort of high-pitched squeal noise has stopped.
I did it.
But there are others approaching. They're a little ways off, but
Can we hide those bodies so that we don't alert suspicion?
there's many an alleyway around.
Or maybe put them in the back of the cart. That might be
Put them
useful
in
later.
in a cart, yeah.
Ooh.
Make a disguise out of them.
Yep.
Yeah, let's have some robots in the cart.
Okay, let's have some strength rolls for everyone.
9.
Really, Dusty?
He's just had half of his health points clattered out of him.
15.
Really, Brilmara?
Yeah, I'm on a high of having had electric hands. I got to be electric. I feel confident.
Okay,
11.
these creatures are heavier than they look.
With a
And
15,
they're
can I
cold.
carry one?
You can carry one.
Yay!
But I mean, between you get like 3 in the cart before things are starting to get like very close to you.
We should go.
Go, go, go.
Yeah.
And with that, you clatter off across the cobbles, clattering.
Yeah. Can we head in the general direction that they seem to be marching? See if that leads us somewhere.
Okay, you're heading up the street, and it's all very samey and grey, and there's not really any colour or life here until you come to like some kind of watermill, and there's a commotion outside. You notice that you would guess the mill owner maybe, or the boss there, is shouting down some official-looking type. He's got that sort of robes that suggest he's some kind of local bureaucrat, who is being flanked by two of the businessmen. And there is a small crowd, and this is the first time you've noticed a crowd of people who aren't businessmen. And they all seem to be clamouring about something.
Can we hear what the argument is?
Okay. So you staying on the cart or getting down, or?
I think, unless he has to get up, Dusty's just had 10 bells of shit knocked out of him, so he's probably just doing a bit of a lean.
Just having a lean. I'm fine. I'm just having a lean.
A lean?
Fine,
Yeah,
fine.
just need something to lean on. Be fine.
I need to remember which character I'm playing because I was going to be like, ooh, I can sneak down there, but D has a -1 stealth.
Is stealth not part of charisma?
No, it's part of dexterity. And also,
That's got a 2 in that.
also D's got big clanky chainmail.
I've got a 6 in stealth when I'm not wearing a bell.
Maybe
Jingle,
put the
jingle,
bell away.
jingle. Okay, I'll put the bell away.
I mean, if you want to sneak, you can take the bell
Okay,
off.
I'll take the bell off. Jingle, jingle.
Just one little jingle before you put it away.
Yeah, jingle,
I'll come
jingle.
back for you, Bell.
Just any time she's bored now, she's gonna be like, jingle, jingle. Right, so we're doing stealth rolls, are we? Is that what's happening?
Okay, so you're trying to blend into the crowd. You've parked up, trying to blend into the crowd, and trying to get sort of towards the front where all the action seems to be happening.
11? It's above average.
Anyone else sneaking, or is it just you?
+6, that +6 bonus ain't getting me very far today.
It's really not.
+6 is great.
It should be.
Yeah, Dusty's going to do that brief inertia thing where someone doesn't want to move, but they do anyway. And I botched my stealth!
Oh
You
no.
trip on a cobble
He stares down.
and take 1 damage.
He stares down.
Anyone else, I'd say you had a bloody nose at this point, but you've just got like a kind of a dent. You can buff it out, I'm sure it'll be fine. So the mill owner, who you can tell because he's not wearing a top hat, he's got a flat cap on and his sleeves are rolled up. Clearly this is a man who works for a living, as opposed to everyone else in this fucking city.
I like him. So now I've got my ear to the ground.
Yep.
Can I hear what the argument is? I just wanted to say ear to the ground because I fell on the floor.
Hey. Now I have to work out how far I can push this accent without upsetting Becky. I knew this was going to be a problem.
Hey.
I've avoided saying t.
Oh,
Point.
you've done at least 2.
No, I did the emphasised not to, I think. I was aiming for the emphasised not to.
You've real skirted the line.
That's the power of the emphasised not to. You think it's there, so much so that southern folk are convinced it's there.
Quait? Is that a northern thing?
The big quoit, yeah.
Quite, yeah.
The big quoit. Which is not apparently one of those little rubber rings that you throw in primary school. You can't do this. This is our livelihood, this. Listen, I'm sure it's all very important that you have your little business here, but you really do need to get with the times. Join the rest of us here, you know? We've run this mill the same way 4 centuries. My father before him, my father's father's father ran this mill. We have always run it the same way. We have always bought the coal in from town, and we have always used this river to make our steam. We don't buy it from you lot. Listen, I'm sure you think it's very important to go by the old ways, but Lancingham is a modern city, and I'm sure you understand.
Right, so which water bottling corporation is this one going to be a parody of?
Well, this sounds like an energy thing.
Is this just unfolding in front of us? Okay.
Did they mention a name of who this person was?
Which person?
The fancy business person.
They look like some kind of city official,
Okay, but then
if
they
you had to guess.
has not been mentioned.
No.
How fancy could I make myself look if I needed to?
Get the bell back on.
It's a fancy bell.
It's a fancy belt. Okay, I have a plan.
You are still wearing a Galaxy snapback.
Yeah, but a fancy one.
Mm-hmm.
I have a vague plan here. which is to put the bell on so I raise my charisma and get all fancy.
Mm-hmm.
Fancy up my outfit as best I can with a bit of Mask of Many Faces.
Gotcha.
Maybe make myself look a little business-ish.
Okay.
I wanna sort of go through the crowd and try and make my way to this official-looking person and go, hello. Sorry to interrupt whatever this is. I'm new in town and I was looking to make an investment in your wonderful, wonderful business. I assume you are the person I should be talking to about the future business direction of this city.
So you're talking to the city official?
Yes,
the mill owner.
The city official who looks fancy. I'm trying to be like, oh yes, I'm here on your. Oh yes, business deals we must make. Business.
He looks you up and down in a way that you're not entirely happy with, but ultimately decides that perhaps you are fancy enough. Well, if you'd like to come by my office sometime, I'm sure we could arrange something. You see, Mr. Boscombe, some people can be very reasonable. Now we have amazing rates on Steam, and it is the thing that keeps this entire city moving, you know.
Oh, wonderful. Can we schedule an appointment for a meeting?
Oh, that would be wonderful. And he gives a couple of clicks, and one of the businessmen comes up. Business. It holds up a briefcase, opens, no, can I pencil you in for, how about next Tuesday, about 3 o'clock? Will that be good for you?
Unfortunately, I'm only going to be in town for a couple of days. Is there anything you can wedge me in the more immediate future? I have other business arrangements I need to look at, and it would be a real shame if I had to just completely glance you by.
Well, it will be somewhat difficult, I'm afraid. Oh, Boscombe, I suppose I won't need to bother with you much longer, so I'll just cross you out. Now, hang on. That was to conclude our business with regard to the river. I think our business is concluded on that. Wouldn't you agree? Now, madam, I suppose I've got a few minutes now if you'd like to discuss things.
Oh, God, I wasn't prepared for this soon.
Listen, you can't do this. This river is the lifeblood of this city. You can't just cut it off from us. And what about the town? It runs down into the town. Those people need water to live. Listen, Boscombe, the water is a property of the city as it does run through here, and we do have right to use it any way we see fit. This is just a deliberate attempt to try and shut down my business. I'm sure you feel terribly persecuted, but listen, the adults really must chat now. I will see you later, Boscombe, perhaps as you're being evicted. Ta-ta! And he sort of ushers you away.
At which point I'm going to use Awakened Mind to contact the other two in our group and just go, I'm going to keep this one busy, you find out what the deal with the rest of them is.
Okay. The party has been split.
I'll try and get back as soon as possible, but I feel like he's going to open up more if he thinks that there's someone that's, oh yes, on his side. Not everyone's being so terribly combative.
Okay.
So,
Dusty's going to de-cobblestone himself and head over to, is it Boscombe?
Boscombe.
Gonna head over to Boscombe.
Head over to Boscombe.
Boscombe is the name of a place that exists.
It is? Boscombe looks very sad.
You're right there.
I can't say that I am, lad.
Oh, have you
It
tried
feels like-
punching stuff?
Oh, that was my father's way. That's what got him in trouble in first place.
Ah,
Still, without that river, I fear all my staff, and indeed everyone in town, gonna find themselves in a right pickle.
How are they going to block off the river?
I don't rightly understand their methods. I suspect they'll probably just send it straight underground. Fine if you happen to be a cave-dwelling sort, but not really for us.
so, you run all this mill and all the stuff that turns round in it? Lots of gears and that, yeah?
Aye, that's right.
So, you're pretty good with your engineering.
My father taught me everything I know.
Do you want to take a wander over to Arcart with us? And Dusty's going to start leading the way over.
Sure. And he will head over with you.
Woo.
So Dusty is going to wait until no one looks to be looking and pull whatever little tarp we've thrown over the smashed up ones. So, what you can do with that then? They're rather hard to smash in bits.
I mean, these ones are just for business. They're not really designed for fighting. not like the others. But yeah, it seems like you've done a fair number on this lot. I'm surprised you survived, I'll be honest.
Do not taste great. Would not recommend it.
Well, if they're not designed for combat, why would you be surprised that we survived?
I mean, even without being designed for combat, they are very strong indeed.
Well, can you do out with insides of a couple?
I mean, I suppose I could recycle them and add them to my own designs. You know, we could always use a few spare parts or, you know, melt them down for the next batch. Although, I say that, without River, I don't think we'll be doing much at all. I am possibly the last person in this entire city that still gets coal from town.
They did mention that.
But without any water, can't generate a lot of steam, I'll be honest.
What do they want?
They want to sell us their own steam, rather than letting us create our own. I believe we were the last business in all of the city that still made our own steam. It's all changed in the last couple of years, you see. It used to be everyone got their own steam or you know, got some spare off their neighbours. There was a right community, but now, ever since that new mayor came, set himself up, he's been holding a monopoly on it. Business after business has been falling. Some of the fancy folk that used to be here have ended up homeless, poverty-stricken, down, escaping out of the city because the businessmen really don't like any poor folk on the street.
Is he a mayor? Tell me about him.
Turned up a few years ago, just about the same time the old mayor died, and rose to power very suddenly. Seemed to be very accepted. Lots of people very interested in newer, cheaper steam. That people weren't shelling out for coal, but slowly the prices got higher and higher and more people being pushed out of the city. We were one of the last bastions still willing to hang in there. But I must say I'm spending my grandfather's last few pennies at this point.
Maybe I'm not totally understanding. Why are they trying to push everybody out of producing their own steam?
They seem to be very keen that we're buying their steam. I guess they want all the money to roll up in their direction. We at least kept other local industries turning. Now it all goes to that mayor.
Well, that tracks.
What about you rich folk?
As I say, I'm spending my grandfather's last few pennies. Not many rich folk left. It's just those business fellas. A few industries still working. I guess they need some humans left to do the actual ordering about and so forth, but even they seem to be disappearing one by one.
Have you considered running for mayor?
I'm a simple man. I know my business. I've done my business. I've been trained to do my job very, very well. I am not some hoity-toity bureaucrat type for making laws for other people.
You'll notice that that's not gone well for anyone up to press.
Maybe not you then. Anybody still left in town who's not as much of a fan of the new mayor?
I mean, if you want to go back to town, there's probably a few folk. The old mine manager used to keep everyone safe. Pretty shrewd businessman, I'd say.
Dusty has the smile of a man with a clear conscience that if he rips one person's head off, it won't all fall to shit because there's someone else in spare.
There is that. So have you got anything else you want to say to Mr. Boscombe? Or inquire?
Nah, Dusty's happy to just offload the dead bodies on him, and since apparently there is no great insight as to how to break them.
He sends a few lads out to carry the bodies in.
Dee will pat Boskin on the back. We'll do something. Can't promise that it'll be good.
We should get that on t-shirts.
I just feel like I
don't
should
think
be realistic.
I think that's fair for this party. I don't think you could do much worse than what's being done round here already.
Oh, don't say that.
We
Well,
fucked up
any help
many a
is
si-
greatly appreciated.
Okay, Dusty's
Okay.
going to start skipping in the direction Brilmara went.
Brilmara is nowhere to be seen. Brilmara, you have been sort of squirreled away into a carriage
Yeah,
and heading way up the hill.
it's fine.
Clackering over the collarbones.
If they need to find me, just listen real careful for the sound of the bell.
as you clack over the cobbles, it's just jingle, 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 and you can see the official starting to rub their temple a bit as you're getting towards the end of the journey. But eventually, the cart does stop, and one of the businessmen opens the door for you. There's a little step out so that you can step down,
Wonderful, thank you.
and you are led into a tall, stark stone building. With sort of frosted windows, or maybe they're just smoggy, who knows? You notice, like, across the street there is this large piston. You're not quite sure what it's driving or what it's attached to, but just in the street there is this huge piston thing that's just constantly rotating.
I want to make a confidence play here. I want to try and sell myself as a legit business person. As we're sort of getting out of the carriage, and presumably I'm going with the mayor into this building, is there someone that I can attempt to very fancifully, as if it's nothing, tip 1 platinum to?
I mean, one of the businessmen appeared to be doing the driving.
I will hand one of the businessmen a platinum and go, treat yourself to something nice.
Business. And there's like a... And just out of its mouth comes this little receipt, which it tears off and hands to you.
I take the receipt and look at it quizzically. But my hope is that by doing this, at the very least I've gone, I've got money to burn, I'm a serious investor here.
Roll perception.
Perception. 17.
The official definitely noticed that was a platinum coin.
Okay, so this was definitely noticed as a, oh yes, I've just got money to throw around.
Platinum, no less.
Power
Yeah,
move.
exactly. Yeah, I mean, let's be fair, we do have money to throw around, even if it is just to go, oh yes, I'm a serious person and I'm definitely not here to scam you or steal secrets.
Okay, so you are shown into this building and down a long, very boring corridor into a very nondescript room. There is a large wooden desk. It's slightly too big for the room. There is a large wingback chair on the other side of it, one of those little green lamps. It's got the blotting pad on the desk, the pen sitting at the end there, and a chair that is slightly too small for a normal human-sized person, but you're a Dirigar, so
This is good for me.
it's actually pretty comfortable for you.
Hell yeah.
But you can't actually see over the lip of the desk.
Can I stand on the chair so I can see over the lip of the desk?
If you would like to, yes.
Yay.
Now, how can I help you, madam? Is there any, would you like a tea or coffee or something?
I'm all right. I had one on the way in. So yes. I'll tell you how I ended up here. I was heading into the little village nearby. Initially, the plan had been I'd heard about the coal industry and the steam industry, and I thought, let's see if that's worth investing in. And I got there and it became very clear that it was a dying town, and that this was the place to be if I wanted to be investing in an industry that was growing and expanding and that had a profitable future in it.
Well, indeed. At all times, there is one business that is always thriving, especially in these parts of the world. I mean, just about everyone in this city now, we have a wonderful privileged few who are still very much in the business of producing Warforged, but mostly we do we like to keep it all down to the automata to do all the actual work.
Oh, I
presumably.
imagine. So yes, tell me a little more about how you came to be here. It seems like you've really nailed the market. I would love to know how you got here to this point.
Well, you see, the mayor came in a few years ago and did something simply wonderful for us and centralised the entire steam market. And before that, we had a very dirty industrial city. There was always coal dust in the air, always people, just sooty, grubby types. And it was, I'll be honest, it was a little bit difficult to breathe some mornings. I used to get terrible fogs. This, at least, is just low-level steam and occasional chemical fog that just does roll in just a little bit, but it's certainly not as bad as it used to. Still, when one is in the business of war, that is something that you have to deal with. One gets their hands a little dirty, but leaves all the real dirt to someone else.
Oh, indeed. Also, I've just realised this has been terribly impolite. I've not asked your name.
Delighted. I'm Mr. Runnymede, and you?
Runnymede.
Yes.
I'm Lady Brilmara of what's the place where we had the manor?
Didn't have a name, and I never thought I'd need to name it.
Lady Brilmara of that plus manor.
That plus manor. Oh, I see. Wasn't that young Miss Croaks?
Oh, it was at one point, but
Hostile takeover, was it?
well, you know how it is sometimes. You see something you want, you find a way to get it.
Oh, I think you'll fit in just wonderfully in this town. Can I offer you a tea or coffee?
No, I'm good. I'll have one of my people prepare one for me later. But I did have a just a minor concern I wanted to run past, because obviously,
No.
as wonderful as your business is currently doing, and it seems like a wonderful investment opportunity, I couldn't help but notice the ruffians you were having that altercation with. And while I'm sure you have plans in place to deal with them, I must know what plans do you have to deal with them, and what stumbling blocks do you see them creating, or do you having to overcome? Because they are my current only concern in investing. Is what are you doing about them?
Well, madam, let me absolutely assure you that has all been dealt with most satisfactorily.
Oh, I need specifics. I need to know I need to know you've got a plan so that I can be confident in investing.
They've been rather holding out the last few years, unwilling to join our fabulous new and incredibly clean steam network. Instead, they have chosen to use the old ways, to continue to use coal. And while they still had access to the river, of course, that meant they could still go about their business, but we're having the river redistributed in such a way that it won't run past their little mill anymore, and they certainly won't have a business anymore without one.
Oh, well, goodness. And is there anything else that you have on the horizon that needs dealing with before the business is sort of stable and everything is sorted?
Oh, they'll wear themselves out. If anything, it's quite amusing to watch them. I mean, we don't get close enough to the war itself, but it is quite nice to see a few people torn apart now and again, don't you find?
Oh, indeed. So, is there any? Is it just? Well, I know that it's all been automated at this point. How many of you are there left that are, overseeing the automation?
Oh, there are 12 business leaders in the city still, and I think you'll find that we're doing a fine job with the finest quality of people.
Oh, I'm
Can
sure.
I get you a tea or coffee?
Oh, I'm all right. It's all good. I'm trying to work out what other information I can get out of this person, because right now I feel like, okay, the river's going to be redirected away, and that's something to actively stop. There's only like 12 actual humans. That doesn't seem like an insurmountable amount to...
It's a big city.
They have a lot of
Yeah.
Warforged, apparently.
They have a lot of Warforged, but equally it's like, there is a very limited number of actual humans that we would have to deal with to be like, and it's fine. I can't imagine there's many actual humans in this building, for example, if we were to later storm this building.
Oh, I don't see why we don't just start smashing heads now.
Yeah,
You have poison resistance, don't you?
I do.
Good to know.
Oh, God.
Yeah, is this about the teas and coffees I keep being offered? Because I'm pretty sure they're poisoned. By the third offer, I was like, I'm pretty sure this is poison. Though I am resistant to poison, so maybe I should just drink it anyway and find out. No.
What you need to do
No.
is do a cheers where the cups splash into each other.
An aggressive
Oh.
cheers. Interesting.
Cheers
Yes.
aggressively.
Okay, you know what? I like that idea. You know what? I will take you up on that. I'll have a lovely, just a black coffee would be lovely.
A black coffee. And he does the double click to one of the businessmen who looks around, and he just gives them a bit of a look, and they nod and leave. And a few moments later, they return with two very fine china cups with 2 black coffees.
Oh, a toast to our budgeting business relationship.
Indeed,
And
it'd be charming to have
And
you.
I attempt to just slightly splash one into the other.
Yep, there's a... Oh dear, let me just get a napkin. And they just sort of wipe the bottom of each cup.
Yeah, no signs of distress at the fact that some of mine has gone in some of theirs, no.
And Pinky.
Oh, of
obviously.
course, Pinky.
It's very fine china.
Yes. Oh, I do have one last question before we finish up, I suppose. I'm just trying to understand the logistics of how this all runs and foresee anything that could be an impediment on my investment.
Well, indeed.
Of course. do you have safeguards in place for, let's say, should you be incapacitated and unable to manage the day-to-day operations of the automatons? Do you have a backup of sort of what happens if you're not around to be in charge of their duties?
Oh, the automata can quite simply organise themselves at this point. Really, the humans are just here to sort of bask in the glory of it all, and I'm simply here as a facilitator to help interact with any people that happen to wander into our glorious city of steam.
Oh, lovely, lovely. Look, I feel that I'm probably best suited to having another wander around the city. I just want to really get a sense for how I can pitch this to the other board members, just so that I can sort of justify why I think it's a good investment. I think it would help for me to just get a good lay of the land.
Bloody red tape, eh?
Oh, I know. I have to be able to sort of paint them the picture of everything. Do you mind if I come back to you, perhaps later in today or at some point tomorrow to hash out the details once I've checked that everything's all
Oh,
good with them?
indeed. Please come back any time. And he hands you a business card.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful! I will let them know that that I've been given the all clear to just sort of pop on by.
Can I have someone drop you off somewhere, or?
Oh, if you could drop me off, somewhere in the vicinity of where you picked me up. Not too close, obviously. Don't want the ruffians seeing,
Oh,
but somewhere
indeed,
nearby.
No problem at all. I shall ensure a cart is at your disposal. And a businessman opens the door and holds it for you.
And the second that Brilmara is like out the other end and out that cart and it's gone off, she's just going to breathe a huge sigh of relief and just dematerialise all the fanciness and.
Are you tipping anyone this end, or?
No, I was only doing it because he was visibly watching and I wanted to.
And are you doing this while the businessmen are still there, or waiting until they've left?
Oh, waiting until they've left to have my big.
Okay, got you. Okay, the party's back together, and nothing bad happened.
Nothing bad happened.
Huzzah.
Brilmara will apologise to any of the people from the coal producing humans. I'd be like, yeah, I'm very sorry for the fancy act I was doing over there. I swear I was there to get information and try and find out how we can fuck his shit up, zap him with lightning and whatnot.
Well, your business is no business of mine, but suppose anything that did cause a problem for them might be good for us. And at that moment, there's like the whistle of the factory, just, and then it echoes all across the city.
Oh.
Like all the factories are kicking out at once.
Yeah.
And there's the whole ground is shaking.
Oh.
The whole ground is shaking, and there is a rhythmic thump, 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 thump,
Oh.
thump, 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 thump. And the mill owner sort of grabs you all and pulls you onto the pavement.
Yeah.
And from every factory, huge double doors swinging open, there are just Warforged. Just so many Warforged just marching in rank and file, up towards the top of the hill. Just ranks and ranks and ranks of them. Some of them painted in different colours. You're spotting like 2 different colour schemes, but that's it.
Yeah.
And they just march past you and away to the north.
As soon as this is sort of passed enough to continue a conversation, Brilmara will point out to the people from the mill, the nice ones. If it helps, if you'd be on board for helping if and when the time comes, I do now have the ability to just walk through straight in the front door, pretty unopposed to their big old building with their fancy posh twat inside.
Well, if you've a plan.
I mean, not yet, but I have the green light to just walk in the door uncontested by the Modron, which might well be helpful if we were to storming of the Bastille. Just
I don't understand the reference, but I'm sure it's very relevant.
storm the castle.
Indeed. Well, it's getting late. Do you have somewhere to be?
I mean, other than the back of our cart?
It's probably not particularly safe to
No.
have something quite so scruffy out on the streets here. And he has people open the big double doors at the side of the factory, and you are offered to come in for the night.
Oh, thank you.
You're most welcome. Tea's on.
Thank you, fella. So, then they're warforged. What's that
Aye.
about? What they for?
The war.
They have been warforged.
For the war. There's always been a war.
Now, I'm sure you're quite good with your people, and as a result you may have picked up that I am not the smartest man you're ever gonna meet. What war?
The war between Galburnia and Gorland been going on for millennia. As long as the two cities have existed, they've been at war. And they buy Warforged from Lancingham. Of course, the industry wasn't always Warforged. We ourselves make textiles, but there's been, various manufactured goods of all types. And slowly, as in the last couple of years, the demand for Warforged has been getting bigger and bigger. It is the age of the new steam.
Yeah, so if we're staying here for the night, Dusty is going to learn from previous mistakes about letting Aurora get bored in the night. And he's going to find her somewhere nice to do a heckin' stretch of her wings, and then provide her with a small pile of gears and building bricks and just general shit to entertain herself and nest with.
Also, you should talk to your plant that got a really bad attitude. You should chat to your plant.
Aw.
You've ignored the plant for a while since it got all bougie.
Yeah, I mean, this is the right place for this plant to be, I think.
See some people doing some proper work.
Yeah.
Are you going to give your plant a lecture about working class life?
The children who work at the mill are absolutely delighted by Aurora.
Oh.
And to a lesser degree Puff, but Puff is having fucking none of it.
Puff is there like,
Puff is like the older teenager who's been asked to look after the younger kids, like the sort of 8 and 9-year-olds, and it's just like, oh god, why?
Aurora's
Do you like mine
loving it.
apothecary courtship?
I'll play some rock music at you. Do you like rock music? I'll play you rock music.
The children are enchanted by all of the emo bands that Puff is introducing them to.
This is their awakening to angry music.
Maybe they'll start a punk band and rebel against the government.
Oh, heck.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so with the children playing with various dragons.
And a plant being taken on a tour of a working mill.
Yeah, well, it's closed for the night, but yeah, it is still just about a working mill. And you're each handed a bowl of very potatoey soup. It's very thick, sticks to your bones. Yeah, and you can all have a nice long rest.
Oh,
Hey.
that's good, because I used up all of my electric in one fight. I'm gonna need some more, I think.
Well then, we shall see you again sometime. Thank you very much for joining us.
I have been the mistress of this dungeon. I am Jane Aerith Magnet. I can be found on Twitter and YouTube as Maniac Janiac. I'm on SoundCloud as Jane Aerith Magnet, where you might be listening to this now. I'm also on stonemonkeyradio.blog, where I write things, twitch.tv/Janiac, where I stream on Tuesday and Thursday nights, janiac.redbubble.com, where you can get one of my fantastic t-shirts, and patreon.com/stonedmonkeyradio. As little as $1 a month would be super helpful.
Hi, this is Nick, and you can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and stream at the Nick Flair. And if you'd like to read some media analysis and self-reflections that I'm writing, you can follow my blog at storieswithnick.blog.
I'm Laura. You can find me at Laura K. Buzz everywhere on the internet. Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Patreon. That's the one that pays the bills. LauraKBuzz.com. I do a series on YouTube every Friday called Accessibility, where I talk about video game industry accessibility and representation. I've got a bunch of books. There's Uncomfortable Labels, which is out now. It's about being gay and trans. There is Things I Learned from Mario's Butt, which is coming out on February 4th. It's an illustrated, silly and serious coffee table book of video game character butt reviews. And there's Gender Euphoria, which is an anthology of non-cisgender people's stories of euphoric moments they had in regard to their gender, which is going to be out at some point in the future when it's written. There's also podcasts. There's Pixel Squirt, which is a video game pornography discussion podcast with Mari and Stacey from Geek Remix. There's Dice Funk, which is another D&D podcast. I'm on seasons 3, 4, 5, 6, and season 7. They're all self-contained seasons. And there's Podquisition, where we talk about whether your favourite video games are great or perfect.
I'm Becky. I can be found as @Becky2ill on Twitter. The last series that we recorded, Battle of Designated Heroes, can be found under Curiosity Epidemic on SoundCloud, Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts.
And we'll see you again sometime. Oh, bye.
Bye.
Bye.